are getting hands-on with something you'll use in almost every integration, JSON. I'll show you how to access fields, update values, remove keys, and perform simple mappings. Then we'll go a bit deeper with practical real-world examples so you're ready for any transformation. Let's begin. Accessing JSON fields. JSON is the most common input we receive in APIs, so being comfortable navigating it is essential. Here's a simple JSON object. In DataWeave, accessing fields is straightforward. You use dot notation to walk through nested structures. It's clean and predictable. Updating values next. Let's look at how to update an existing JSON structure without rewriting the entire object. The update operator lets you change selective fields. It's efficient and keeps your script readable. Removing fields. Sometimes you don't need every field from the input. To remove a single field, payload, experience. If the key is nested, use update again. Clean JSON, zero clutter. Pluck is used to iterate over an object and transform it into an array of values. Unlike mapObject, pluck always returns an array, not an object. Think of it as convert an object into an array while transforming its key value pairs. Example 1, simple pluck example, showing it always returns an array. Example 2, turning an object into key value array. One of the most common uses is converting fields into structured items. This is great for logging, dynamic fields, or working with unknown JSON structures. Example 3, using the index. Pluck also gives you the index. This is perfect when you want ordering information. That's pluck, simple, powerful, and perfect for transforming JSON objects. Try it out in the DataWeave playground and watch how much cleaner your scripts become. When to use pluck? Use it when you want to extract keys or values. Convert an object into a list, process dynamic JSON where field names are unknown, generate key value lists for reporting. Loop through object properties, transform objects without using mapObject. Simple mapping demo. Let's take a basic array of employees and transform it. Here's the DataWeave transform. This gives each record an ID, renames fields, and even formats the city name. Mapping is the foundation of almost every DataWeave script you'll write. More practical JSON examples. Let's go deeper with scenarios you'll actually see in real APIs. Conditional fields. If a value is null or missing, provide a safe default. Removing null keys to clean your JSON. Merging JSON objects, payload 1 ++ payload 2. Perfect for combining API responses or enrichment data. Grouping records payload group by depth. Great when you need a department-wise breakdown. Flattening nested arrays. Flatten payload. Teams. Members. Helpful when incoming JSON is deeply nested. Let's explore another highly useful JSON operator. FilterObject is used to filter key value pairs in an object. Remember, it only works on objects and it always returns an object. Here's a simple object we'll work with. Let's say we want to keep only the fields. Where the value is greater than 10, only the fields that match the condition stay in the object. Real use case 1. Remove nulls. One of the most common uses is cleaning up null values from API responses. This instantly removes all null fields and keeps your payload clean for downstream systems. Real use case 2. Keep only numbers. You can also filter based on value type. This is extremely helpful when your JSON contains mixed types, strings, booleans, numbers, and you only want numeric fields. Quick rule to remember: if your input is an object and you want your output to remain an object, then filterObject is always the right choice. First up, filter by key name. Here, we filter our payload so that only keys starting with the letter C remain. Notice how elegantly we can target specific keys without touching the rest of the data. Next, filter by value type. Sometimes you only want certain types of values, for example, only strings. With filterObject, you can inspect each value and keep only the ones that match your criteria. Finally, remove unwanted keys dynamically. This is super handy when your JSON has system or temporary fields starting with an underscore. Using filterObject, we dynamically remove all keys that start with harm, leaving your data clean and ready for transformation. And that's your quick guide to using filterObject in DataWeave. Now, let's dive into one of the most commonly misunderstood aspects of DataWeave, filtering. We'll compare filterObject and filterArray side by side. Same input, different results. Let's get started. Arrays use filterObjects use filterObject objects but want array output use filterArray. First up, filter. Use this only on arrays and it always returns an array. So filter keeps only the items that match your condition. Simple, clean and perfect for API lists, search results or database records. As I explained earlier in the video, filterObject works only on objects, key value pairs, and it returns an object back. Notice how only the matched key value pair is preserved. This is great for cleaning JSON. Removing nulls or filtering based on value types. Next is filterArray, and this one confuses a lot of people. It takes an object as input but returns an array. So filterArray is basically object, apply condition, extract only the values that match, return an array. Now if you want an array of values, not key value pairs, then go with filterArray. If your input is already an array, filter is the right tool, and that's your full breakdown of filterObject and filterArray. Same condition, different outputs, and now you know exactly when to use each. Now let's compare three other important features, mapObject, map and pluck, side by side so you can see when to use each one. First, mapObject. This operator works on objects and lets you transform each key value pair. You can rename keys, update values, or even create entirely new key value structures, all while keeping the object format intact. Next, map. Map is your go-to for arrays. It iterates through each element and transforms. Finally, pluck. Pluck is a hybrid. It works on objects, but instead of keeping the same keys, it converts each key value pair into an array of objects with key and value fields. This is especially handy when you want to flatten an object into a list or process it like an array. Using mapObject, map, and pluck effectively can make your JSON transformations clean, readable, and efficient. Let's look at a few examples to see these in action. Here, we're using mapObject to rename a key. The name key becomes full name while all other keys remain unchanged. Notice how mapObject gives us full control over object keys and their values. Next is map, perfect for arrays. I've saved the request in a separate variable, which DataWeave allows us to do quite flexibly. Each number in our array is multiplied by 2. Map iterates over every element, applies the transformation and returns a new array. And here's pluck. It converts an object into an array of key value objects. Each value is multiplied by 10 and the keys are preserved inside a new object structure. Pluck is great for flattening objects and working with them like arrays. By understanding the differences between mapObject, map, and pluck, you can pick the right tool for transforming objects and arrays in DataWeave. Experiment with these operators to see how they simplify your JSON transformations. That's a wrap for day 4. Now you've seen how to access, update, and transform JSON using mapObject, map, pluck, and filterObject. Practice these operators and you'll be able to handle any JSON transformation with ease. These are the skills that will make your scripts cleaner, faster, and more reliable. In day 5, we'll move on to functions, both built-in and user-defined, and start building reusable logic. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss day 5 of our DataWeave 30-day series. See you in the next one.